I let you go, Dev, what do you think of Teofimo Lopez, George Kambosos? Tough fight, tougher fight than people think, or what do you think?
Honestly, I really haven't seen Kambosos.
George, he fought Mickey.
Yeah, that's
right.
I seen like a little bit of highlights of him fighting Mick, and I want to say he won a split decision. And
close fight.
And Mickey Bay, I want to say. I don't think he fought since then. I think after that, that's when he started training me. So, I mean, that just shows you. Mickey Bay was, what, 42, 41 years old when he fought him. So, I don't know. We just got to see how the fight plays out. But I see Teofimo beating him fairly easy. But I could be wrong. You know, styles make fights. Like I said, I haven't seen Kambosos.
George Kambosos.
Kambosos.
Australian guy with a Greek name.
Yeah, I haven't seen that much. But I know that he's going to come to fight. I'm sure that he's going to bring his A game. I'm sure he's motivated. Everyone's overlooking him. So hopefully he goes in there and puts up a good fight.
He's going to try and take 4 belts. Undisputed world champion George Kambosos, who fights in 9 days' time.
Yep.
How do you feel that fight will go?
Look, that's a very interesting fight. George has definitely got the right mindset for the fight, and he's going to be hard to beat. I think George is
really
a very skillful boxer, and he's got that belief in himself. So who knows? I think he has a very good chance of winning that.
Do you think Teofimo's underestimating him here a little bit, or from what you've seen in some of the media?
I don't know, surely not. Surely they're smarter than that. They versed Lomachenko, but I guess they've never heard of probably George before, and maybe he is underestimating him, but that will be a massive mistake on their part if they do that.
And speaking about mistakes, when we go back to 2007 and after we did the Ali Faneka fight, the Randall Bailey and the Rico Mueller, you came up through the Pacific where people underrated you, then you landed the Manny Pacquiao fight and proved a lot of people wrong, so it can be done.
Yes, exactly. As long as you have the belief in yourself, you put all that hard work in, and you can get the job done on the night against anyone.
Tank, how do you see the Haney Diaz fight? You think that's easy work for Haney, or is it a tough fight?
Easy work.
Same with Kambosos, easy work.
Easy work.
And then same with Cruz, right? What do you think of Teofimo on the workout he's putting on, Caleb?
He looks great. He looks athletic. He's on rhythm and all that. We got the classical music going, so.
I've seen you have some dope jump rope routines that like MC Light, but would you ever do some of this classical stuff that T.O.'s doing, or?
I mean, it ain't my style, but it's obviously whatever he's doing is working for him. So.
Yeah. Is he looking like he's entering into being a great fighter now?
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly proven that he's a world-class fighter, and I got a lot of respect for T.O. and his pops. It's got a lot like me and my pops. So.
Right. Have you guys got to catch each other sparring? Like you watch him, he'll come by and maybe check out what you're doing? Or?
Not too much sparring, but some training, yeah. Some training, yeah.
You familiar with Kambosos at all? How you expect that fight to go?
I think he's going to fight hard, and then when things get hard for him, he's going to fight even harder, and that'll probably be his demise. So
yeah, he's a guy who's coming in, looking to exchange. It looks like that's very dangerous with Teofimo. Are you better off trying to outsmart this guy instead of bang with him?
It's gonna be hard to do either. So pick your poison.
Who else we got fighting?
T.O. fighting Kambosos.
T.O. That fight should have been happening.
Yeah, like in February. No.
That fight should have been happening, but it didn't. So now we get to see how T.O. dealt with that.
Do you expect both of them to win their fights, Haney and Lopez?
It's hard to say because the guy he's fighting, he's hungry. And the time he's been waiting to get in that ring with him, he had enough time to work on a lot of stuff.
And he was an Olympian, like you said.
He's a good fighter.
Yeah,
he has something proven. That them fights like that are dangerous.
George Lopez versus Kambosos in 9 days' time. It's a massive, massive fight. How do you think that will go?
Look, naturally, as an Australian, I want George to win, of course, and I send my regards out to George. I really want him to win this fight. It's a tough fight. It's a really hard fight, and this is a significant step up from where he's been. And that concerns me a little bit as to whether he can make that bridge between who's been fighting and Lopez, who we all know beat Lomachenko.
Yeah.
You know, so you go, it's like a big step up in grade here. I hope George wins. I don't really think that Lopez will stop him. George is a very, very tough guy. I think George can probably see this fight out. He throws a lot of punches. He's got a good chin, but I can't quite see him winning. But anything is possible, and if George believes he can win, that's all that really matters on the day. And as Duran said famously, when someone said to him, in fact, I actually asked him myself. I said, "How do you think, Roberto, that Jeff goes against Pacquiao?" I said, "Do you think he can win?" And he said, "Why not?" And that's true. At the end of the day, the belief has got to come from George. If he can bring that belief into the ring and prepare himself really well, then anything is certainly possible.
Isn't it amazing that we've got an Australian fighting for four belts and an undisputed world title? I know there's so many great names in Australian boxing. Like Zoo, Zarafa. We've got Paro right now, Dempsey McKean, Justice Horney on the come up. Liam Wilson. There's just so many different names that are coming up. But this guy's actually fought. It's undisputed. It's amazing, isn't it?
It is. It's this incredible opportunity to fight for the world title and to fight for all of the belts in one go. I mean, if George needs motivation, you could not get more motivation. He should be prepared to die in that ring. And I believe he is. I've seen George from the amateur days. I remember him down there at the Olympic selection trials fighting Luke Jackson, which he narrowly lost on count back, and I know he felt hardly done by on that occasion. So I've seen him go through the pain. He's done the hard yards in the amateurs. He's done everything he has to have done in the pros. But as I said, this is a massive step up here. Is Lopez going to treat George with the respect he deserves? I hope so, because if he doesn't, then that changes everything. But if Lopez genuinely prepares as he did for Lomachenko, I think he wins the fight. If he just takes his foot off the throttle a little bit, though, and takes George a bit cheaply, that will bring George right into this fight. So obviously for Australia and for George, we hope that that's the case, and he's underestimated George Kambosos. But I think if he really turns up on the night, I think he should get the result.
He's in the house tonight. Do you think that fight with Kambosos will be more difficult, or he'll be able to get the job done and get the knockout in that fight?
Kambosos has flaws in his game that Teo can take advantage of. Now, I think that Kambosos has a better chance now because of everything Teo has gone through.
Right.
But talking with him tonight, he seems like he has a plan. I asked him, I said, would you still do the same thing that you did, the decision that you made?
Go ahead
and go with the Triller, and he said yes. He said yes. So I respect that. I mean, even going through what he went through, even sitting on the sideline, going through COVID, having his fight date changed, and being ridiculed by myself as far as, hey, this is what you asked for. He's standing like a man, and he's saying, yes, I stand by what I believe, and I don't care what anybody else believes. And so I respect that. I respect the fact that even though I was critical, and I will always be critical with the fighters, to a certain point, that he was man enough, and he was I would say cordial. Cordial.
Right.
It's
not bad blood just because I did this for this one fight. Right.
He was super cordial, man, and I respect. I respect
that's being an
that,
adult,
bro. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And that's being an adult. So, Kambosos, it's either gonna be an overhand right or a left hook. I'm gonna call it, man.
In an exchange.
Yeah, because Kambosos, he's a shorter fighter. He's gonna come in. He's gonna try to take chances. He's gonna try to bully. All the anger built up from him.
He's coming
this long. He's gonna come. And he probably gonna get caught with something nasty. Teo looks like he's in really good shape. He's been staying fit. He looks lean. He looks mean. So we'll see, man. It's been a long time since we've seen Teo. It's been a long time since Kambosos has been in the ring. So nobody has an advantage there. But I'm looking forward to the fight. And
it's been a long time since you got to relax.
I can just say this. I think Lopez knocks him out. I do think, and I think it won't go past 4 rounds, personally.
Damn.
So we'll see. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Kambosos he's game. He's game, but can he take a punch? That's the thing.
That can hurt you, right? Like, you can be too brave for your own good.
Yeah, you know, you can bite out. You can take too many chances too early, and I worry about that. And I don't know his game plan or not, but he's not gonna outbox Teo. Teo was able to outbox Lomachenko to get the victory, so he's not gonna outbox or outthink Teo. So the only other thing that he can do is fight him, and fight him hard. And is he big enough? I don't know. Is he strong enough? I don't know. If he's fast enough? I don't know. If he's smart enough? I don't think so. But we'll see, man. This is boxing.
Wait, how's George looking, and what do you expect from him? I know you guys know each other from the Pacquiao camp too.
I mean, George, obviously he's the underdog, but man, George trains fucking hard. He has so much skills that you won't be able to tell until you're in there with him, you know, like, and he's hungry. He's hungry. I have George winning the fight.
George Kambosos, do you think he's being maybe underrated here, heading into this fight a little bit too much? Like, people, they don't know who he is because he's more an Australian-based fighter, but do you think people really don't know that George is capable of upsetting Teofimo Lopez?
George has been in deep waters before. George has been in deep water in some of his fights, and he knows how to pull through it and get the victory. And from base of, I've sparred a lot of guys, and George is one of the toughest guys that I've sparred. And he's a lighter fighter than me, but I think people are underestimating him. They haven't seen what he can do in the ring. They probably haven't even watched his fights. You should go watch George's fight.
Very exciting fighter, fast, knocks people loud.
His jab is one of the hardest jabs that I've been hit.
That shit.
One of the hardest jabs I've been hit with before. I think it was Regis Prograis that hit me with a hard jab. I sparred Regis and Kambosos. That's like the top two guys that hit me with a jab. Man, people are underestimating George. I got my bro winning that fight. Although Teofimo's from New York, he's not from New York. He's from Florida.
How do you think Teofimo's fight with George Kambosos is gonna go?
Teofimo versus a sacrificial lamb. Teofimo gonna flatline the sacrificial lamb.
You check Kambosos out on tape at all?
I'm gonna say it like this: Kambosos just throws right hands. That's all he does. And like I said, I don't think you should throw for right hand at Teofimo. That's what I'm just saying.
He's got a good check hook, Rolly.
Nah,
got a good check hook.
I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't think he should throw too many right hands at Teofimo.
Teofimo card that's officially going now. And what were your thoughts on that fight?
I think Teofimo's a great fighter. You know, he has the power, the speed, the skills. So I think he's gonna win the fight. He's gonna take it. He's gonna be right now. There's no fighters that probably that could beat him right now, like easily. Yeah.
100%. So do you think is it gonna go the distance, or?
I think Teofimo's gonna knock him out. So he's too strong, he's fast, and he's gonna go out there and he also knock him out, and he's gonna do that.
How do you expect his fight with Kambosos to go, Bob?
I don't think much of Kambosos. I've got to be honest. I'm not gonna pussyfoot around. I've met him. He's a nice kid, but. You know, he squeaked out a victory over Selby. Now, Selby is essentially a featherweight, right?
Yep. Yes, he is. Yeah. Not a puncher at all.
Not a puncher.
Nope.
And would Selby last 30 seconds with Teofimo?
I'll give him 30 seconds, Bob.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe not 3 rounds, but I'll give him 30 seconds.